Human Torch.
Warning! The Manstream podcast is designed to entertain and inform, covering a diverse range of topics. Please be advised that some episodes may contain mature content, strong language, or discussions that may not be suitable for all audiences.
And we're back with another episode of the Manstream podcast.
What's up?
On tonight's episode, we have Dave to my left.
Howdy.
And Josh behind the soundboard and with us here tonight. We are a little short-staffed on members tonight.
A little.
So a lot of things have come up. So where you're normally seeing
Busy week.
4 guys at a table and one person up at the Zoom call and Notesy behind the soundboard, that's not the case tonight. But we do have a great show in store for everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Got some special guests coming on later and a bunch of good content here with some laughs and fun. So let's jump right into it this week. How'd you guys' week going?
It's good. We celebrated Christmas this past week. It was fun, family, and food. Got stuffed.
Wait, was that the triple F, fun family food?
I think it was, yeah. The triple F. Always have a triple F when during the holidays.
That started in high school, though, didn't it? Triple F? FFF grades?
Funny
got
joke.
it.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, that's
we
a
got
dad
comedian,
joke right
that's a
there.
dad joke.
Oh, that's a real...
You're not far off, though, probably.
Oh, that's starting it off early.
Christmas was good. This week's been good. It's gone fast. It's good to be back here.
Yeah, man. Christmas went great at our house. Had a few people get sick. Dude went down with a cold, but
Down
other
with the
than
sickness.
that, I mean, Santa was great to my kids, and we all had a good time. Christmas is always a good time. Always sad to be done, but when it's done, I'm ready to be done with it.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, it is, but we decorate early. So outside of that, man, short week at work. I'd like to say I got a lot accomplished at work, but between Christmas and New Year, it's kind of a dead week. But
Yeah.
You did get a lot accomplished.
shh.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, let's not bring that up. But yeah, man, it's going good. Back here for another episode. This is 3 episodes in a row.
Yeah.
Don't get used to it. But just kind of want to keep pushing out. We have so much fun doing this. So, Josh, how was your week?
It was a typical week, 4-day work week, Christmas, right back at it right away. But yeah, I mean, it's good to see snow finally. Wish we would have had that on Christmas.
Yeah,
but,
2 days too late, but what do you do, I guess?
And it's probably going to be melted off by tomorrow. Who knows?
I'm all right with that.
Hey, you guys, I have a question. Speaking of having to go right back at it after Christmas, how in favor of an extra day vacation would you guys be the day after Christmas? Because there's always a Christmas hangover. Do you guys get that?
Well, so this year was different, right? So we get Christmas Eve as a paid holiday as well. But we were given the option of, do you want Friday or Monday, or Friday or Tuesday? And we chose Friday.
Okay, so
I
you
think
had the
we all
option.
chose Friday. I kind of thought to myself, I would have rather had Tuesday, I think. But
Just mob mentality.
dude, I'm not going to lie. After every holiday, I kind of have a holiday hangover going back to work. I don't really want to go back to work, but you have to.
I think most
it's-
people do.
Typically, we all know that it's a little bit of a struggle getting back into it. So
Yeah.
but what do you do? You know?
You do everything you can to forget work when you're at these holidays, because usually holidays imply a 3-day weekend, if not more.
Yeah.
So it is difficult to get back in the swing, I find, some days.
I wish that worked for my job. I still get emails even at holidays, and I get texts. People calling in left and right. It's luckily I wasn't on call for Christmas or New Year's, so worked out for me. But
All
yeah,
right.
man, everything's going good. We just another week, so. We're going to dive right into our Sip and Savor segment of this week. Our Sip and Savor segment is brought to you now by Van's Liquor Store in East Dubuque, Illinois.
We can officially say it.
We can
thanks,
officially
Vans.
say it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Jeff Jansen.
Jeff Jansen.
Shout out to Jeff Jansen. I did not know who he was, but now I do. So Van's Liquor is going to sponsor our Sip and Savor segment so we can introduce our viewers to new drinks maybe they haven't tried, or new drinks we haven't tried that we're kind of eager to try. Tonight we are doing Happy Dad Hard Seltzer. You will know that if you get Van's Liquor or look online, this is in their weekly sale ad. But Happy Dad Hard Seltzer was founded in California in 2021. It's an easy to drink, simple flavor, refreshing with no bad aftertaste, they say. And I'm quoting them. Their exact words is, Happy Dad comes in a normal can because they are sick of the skinny can bullshit. We got a variety pack. It's watermelon, black cherry, pineapple, and lemon lime. Happy Dad is one of the most I found this to be interesting. Happy Dad is one of the most followed alcohol brands on social media with
So people like
1.5 million followers.
Well, it's not only that they like it.
Did they post really cool shit on their social media pages and stuff? Because that's
yeah,
also a way to get followers.
Originally, the brand was given out because of Kyle Forgier. He is the original founder of the Nelk Boys, and if you guys are familiar with anything on YouTube, Nelk Boys were like the original Jackass up in Canada. So that's kind of what they did, but they didn't do like the crazy stunts. Theirs was all kind of alcohol-based, frat parties, stuff like that. And then they partnered up with Steve Will Do It, and he was like the original.
Steve will do it.
He will. And
I'm assuming so.
He did anything. Like this kid, back in the college days, he could drink like nobody's business. He'd do stupid stunts like, hey, I'm going to drink 30 raw eggs, or I'm going to pound 30 seltzers in a half hour type of deal. But I mean, he's leveraged that into a huge YouTube channel. So have the Nelk Boys, and they actually partnered up with Snoop Dogg. So there's actually a Happy Dad Death Row.
Oh, I saw
as
that.
well.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I mean, they're going places, and I think they're one of the main sponsors in UFC now.
Anything,
dude, that's
anything
cool.
attached to Snoop though is just taking off because he's just
He's everywhere.
he's everywhere. He should be, man.
He's
I like
in the
Snoop.
metaverse. He's got his own
Snoop
universe.
is the metaverse.
He plays Call of Duty.
I've seen that.
Yeah, he's a big Call of Duty
competitive.
guy.
He's competitive about it too.
So I have the watermelon. I have the other three flavors in front of me. Dave has the pineapple and watermelon. He opened a bolt because he was really eager to try them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Josh has lemon lime over there. So
And pineapple.
I'm going to tell you that first drink, there was no bad aftertaste. And I'm not a big seltzer guy, but I've had White Claws before, and that's my biggest problem with them is the aftertaste of them. I think Josh probably is more experienced in the hard seltzer kind of program than Dave and I are. I'm more of a beer guy, but so Josh probably knows the goods and the bads on the hard seltzers. But I would say if I was going to go buy a hard seltzer, I'm thinking, I haven't tried the other three flavors, but I'm thinking Happy Dad is the way to, and I'm a happy dad. So
it's pretty good. I quite enjoy the pineapple one and the water. They're actually both, like you said, there's no bad aftertaste to it.
Yep. And I will say I've tried a lot of seltzers, and one of the things that my wife hates about seltzer is that after one, it gives her, too much carbonation, too much like belching,
like
burping.
gut rot or
yeah,
something.
just nasty. And this doesn't have like the carbonation. It's gluten free. This is actually my first time trying it, and it's
me too. So
I drink carbless normally, and I'm probably going to switch to this.
Yeah, they said it's low carbonation. Stop on out to Van's Liquor Store, mention Manstream, and get yourself a case of Happy Dad. You will not be disappointed if you like seltzers. I can promise you that.
even if you don't, it's good. It really is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you don't like seltzers, give her a try. I did realize, Josh, you missed your mark on when you said shout out to Jeff. You could have hit my name Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
But
Do it now if you want. Give us a laugh.
We'll save that only for when someone says that's what she said.
My name is Jeff.
There it is. So stop on out to Van's Liquor and get yourself a case of Happy Dad. And if you want to make a dad happy, give him a case of Happy Dad because it might make him happy. We're going to take a brief moment to give a little shout out to Van's Liquor, and we will be right back here.
Are you ready to make every moment unforgettable? Well, we've got the perfect pit stop for you. Van's Liquor. Need a rare bottle for that special occasion? Van's Liquor has it. Craving the finest beers for your weekend hangout? Van's Liquor has it. Just over the bridge at 470 Cincinnati Avenue, East Dubuque. Van's Liquor has everything you need to turn the ordinary into extraordinary. Don't settle for less. Choose the best at Van's Liquor. your celebration headquarters in East Dubuque.
And we're back again here. Thank you for taking a peek at that Vans Liquor sponsorship there. So we're gonna jump right into the recap of our picks last week before we continue going into this week's pick of the week. So last week, I think Dave picked the Chiefs and the Eagles and the Ravens. I know I picked the Raiders, the Eagles, and the 49ers. I finished 2-1, and Dave finished 2-1, and Kyle finished 2-1, who's not on tonight. And then Josh went 1-2.
After very confidently
saying
boasting he's going to go 3-0.
I'm going to go 3-0. Josh went
and
1-2.
he was so confident about that.
Dave, we had most of our picks aligned except
the one, which was huge. So
That
the
was
only pick we had
huge.
aligned was
the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah. So Ryan also went 1-2. So that brings our totals right now to Dave leading 5-1. I hate admitting that. Mike and Kyle are tied at 3-3. Ryan is 2-4, and Josh is bringing up the caboose
Absolutely.
at 1-5.
Yep.
So that's the recap of last week's picks. Let's jump into this week's picks. We are switching it up a little bit. We're going to go with college football.
It's college football bowl season.
It
right
is.
now.
It is bowl season. We actually, bowl season's almost over.
I know it is, but this is when it gets really, really entertaining.
So we're
These are
gonna
the good games.
We're gonna do 3 bowl
So to
games,
speak.
and then I'll give a quick recap from a prior episode that we did where we picked the winner of the playoffs, just so we're all on the same page. So this week's pick of the weeks. First off, we have the Orange Bowl, which is tomorrow. Georgia versus the Florida State Seminoles, who should ultimately be in the college football playoffs. But Dave, who do you have?
Because Florida State doesn't deserve to be in the college football playoffs, I picked Georgia because Georgia's going to beat the shit out of Florida State, and it's not going to be close. I'm saying 4 to 5 touchdown differential.
All right,
That's what I think.
Ryan, or
Ryan's not here. I'm going to go with Georgia.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Georgia. I mean, it's hard to beat the Dogs, even though Bama did. But, yeah, it's got to be Georgia.
yeah, I want to pick Florida State so bad because I want to think that Florida State wants to come out and just prove. But I had a hard time doing that, and I want to be able to say I'm ahead of these guys in our weekly picks. So I am also picking Georgia.
You know why you have a hard time picking that, and anyone should, is because Florida State had a hard time beating Louisville, who just got blown out in their bowl game.
Yeah.
Georgia
So,
lost to
true.
Alabama. Alabama had a hard time beating Auburn. We can go rounds on that.
I
So,
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
Kyle picked Georgia, and Ryan picked Florida State. So we have a lone Florida State
There you
guy.
go.
Ryan definitely let everybody know how he felt about Florida State getting let out. So he turned red that night. So
He did.
he's passionate about it. But all right, we're gonna jump to the Peach Bowl, which is also tomorrow, and it is Ole Miss versus Penn State. Dave.
Ole Miss is going to beat this one. I don't think Penn State's there yet. Allers is young, but Jackson Dart for Ole Miss is a stud, and he will win the game for them.
I'm going to take it the other way. Dave, you always seem to be right, and I should just go with your gut. But I'm going to go Penn State.
Yeah, I'm going Penn State as well. Penn
Yeah.
State's run game is pretty crazy, and Penn State's defense is pretty good. So I'm going to go with Penn State as well. Ryan and Kyle also went with Penn State, so that leaves Dave as the lone pick of Ole Miss.
The outlier.
Rebels.
So it could get interesting this week, but we're going to jump to a game that I'm a little biased on, and so is Kyle, and so is Josh, and any other Iowa fan. We're going to go to the Citrus Bowl, which is Monday, New Year's Day. It's Iowa versus Tennessee. Dave?
I'm going to pick Iowa. I think that Iowa shows up in bowl games. Tennessee's got a lot of their starters that are not playing. They're forfeiting this game to go and do whatever the heck they're going to do, transfer, go to the pros or whatever. But Iowa's going to take this one. It's going to be a low-scoring game, so maybe take the under in that one. But Iowa's going to pull it out.
Yeah. I'm an Iowa fan, so I've got to go with Iowa. But if I was not affiliated with Iowa whatsoever, I would have to pick Tennessee. But my mark is going to be Iowa.
I want heads, but I also want tails, too.
I
That's
know.
okay.
It's hard. It's one of those decisions. It's like, your heart's with Iowa because you want him to win. You want Brian Ferentz as much as you hate him to go out on top. But
Kind of a cop-out, I think.
It-
You
it-
could just pick one or the other.
it is.
Well-
I'm going to go with Iowa.
Okay.
And it is a cop-out, but
You're not wrong. I mean, you've seen the last
Yeah.
home game when
Well-
how the players went around Brian Ferentz. I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to be a miss guy, even though he was not a good offensive coordinator. I
Yep.
think he was a team's guy. And I'm picking Iowa. I should pick against them because then they probably have a chance to win. But
I know.
I don't remember how many players Tennessee has sitting out.
Quite a bit of their
Quite a few.
starters.
And they're starting a sophomore quarterback that has never started a game in college football.
It's do or die time for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Jump
So,
in, see if you can swim, man.
If not,
Iowa's-
transfer portal.
right.
Soon.
Yeah.
Iowa's defense is pretty good.
Stout. I'd say,
Yeah.
honestly, they'd probably have the best defense in the league just because of what they've had to endure, how long they've had to be on the field for this year. They are probably the best defense in the league.
Yeah,
And they have been the last couple of years, too.
Yeah.
I think Higgins is going to go off on D just with him saying he's coming back.
Is DeJean
dude.
playing? Is
no.
DeJean is not.
Okay,
no, he's
dang it.
out. He's
I'm
out all
so
season.
happy that Higgins is coming back.
Yeah,
Oh man, that's a force to be reckoned with.
absolutely.
You know, and I was watching the Oregon State Notre Dame game today a little bit, and they brought up a good point because Notre Dame's quarterback didn't play; he sat out, and so they were starting to back up, and they said no team needs to or could consider themselves safe with their backup because if their backup proves himself, he will be in the transfer portal because someone else is going to offer him a position.
Didn't Notre Dame, aren't they getting like that guy from Duke, though? So they already had their quarterback. So this was an audition for him to go someplace else. So I'm assuming he played well enough
did.
to win the game.
He did. That's like the quarterback of USC.
Yeah, the one that showed it the system, and Caleb Williams really may not be that talented. Just talks a lot of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm
Right.
making money. I'm not going to go to the NFL. All right, bye, I guess. Go to the Canadian Football League. Have fun.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Yeah, dude, I can't stand Caleb Williams.
I know,
Anyways,
anyways.
so just to give a quick recap of the Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl picks, the college football playoffs, and the championship. Dave picked Alabama. Loser. That was uncalled for.
was so
That scared
uncalled
me a little bit. Dave picked Alabama and Texas, and to Texas to win. I also picked Alabama, Texas, and Texas to win. Ryan picked.
Everybody else picked the
Ryan
same, pretty
picked
much.
Michigan and Texas. Michigan wins, and then Josh and Kyle picked Michigan and Washington, and Michigan wins.
yeah.
So I think Josh missed his mark on the loser one when he said that Michigan, Washington.
He's just getting happy over there with those buttons.
I'm just getting happy. You know, I don't sit
Just
back
hitting all
here,
the
so
buttons
it's
back
like, you know,
again.
I want to interject every once in a while.
He's got that squirrel ADD going on. Ooh, button.
Ooh.
Button.
Fly.
We always have squirrels in this
Yeah.
studio. So yeah, we're excited to watch these bowl games and see what happens. College football bowl games are about my favorite time.
I'm
of
excited
year.
to watch Alabama, Michigan. I think that this is going to be a game to see whether or not Alabama should be in. And I really do think they should be in, but whether or not Alabama deserves to be that fourth spot or Florida State has a case. So these next couple of days are going to be really key for
Ooh.
the BCS. Yeah,
Was that
good.
the Happy Dad?
No, it's probably some water I just drank.
Was that your stomach?
Yeah, I don't. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah, I almost thought, why did water just bubble?
I know. I couldn't understand it either. It sounded like a belch over here.
You know, one thing I will say about, and I don't want to dwell on sports too much because then we have our special guest coming on here in about 10 minutes. But what I will say is what I hope happens is I'm torn. I kind of want Michigan to win because they're a Big Ten school.
Yeah.
But I don't think they stand a chance. But what I want to see happen, and I think what should happen, is Jim Harbaugh, win or lose, should tell Michigan and the NCAA where they can sit on and rotate and say, I'm going to the NFL because you guys have treated me like shit.
Did you see what was it Alabama? What they did? They hired that guy that used to work for Michigan.
Because I don't know. Well, I don't know if you've followed up on what we talked about, like our first ever podcast when Jim Harbaugh was suspended from the sidelines for the supposedly
The
sign
3
stealing.
games or whatever.
And they have literally have no evidence on it at all. Like
Nothing.
it has completely been tossed away.
It's
Well,
kind
I
of
mean-
it's over and done with, and I think people are ready to just move on. Like Michigan just wants to move on with it. Like it is what it is. Was there a guy that was doing like Connor Stallings guy was on the sidelines stealing plays?
He was. Did you guys? I'm sorry, David. I don't
Go
want to
ahead,
cut you off,
you're
but
good.
did you guys see the videos that have come out about him
The
lately?
Stallions?
Yeah, sitting on the Michigan sideline going up against Ohio State last year. You know, they were doing checkdowns and everything like that. Ohio State was on offense doing checkdowns, and Stallions was looking across the field at the signal caller, and then the whole defense was behind him, as well as the defensive coordinator. And they were sitting there like telling exactly what was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, we've
exactly
seen the
what was gonna-
videos.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
crazy.
that
It's
is-
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know though. The way they treated him, I don't know. If I'm him, and I guess I'm being a little bit biased side because I think Kevin Warren's going to do everything he can to make Jim Harbaugh the next Bear coach, and I'm not disappointed in that at all.
You hope.
But I try to put myself in that situation. I would, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, over a sandwich and over a freaking guy that's on my employment staff that was stealing signs or not stealing signs, whatever happened, I would literally tell the NCAA and Michigan to sit on it and rotate.
The sandwich thing was the one he bought for the recruit,
dude,
and it's like $6 sandwich. Grow up! Like why is that even an issue?
I had my Shazam bank account card get flagged the other day for $2. Now I have no debit card. $2.
Now, if you went to Fidelity State Bank, they could go ahead, or Fidelity Bank and Trust, they could print those off instant.
Perfect.
Yeah, they could, but it's all right.
Yeah, so
we're not
this
going to
is-
get involved of what bank's better than another
So
bank.
let me-
That's like
let me-
Democrats and Republicans.
Let me pose this question really quick. Let's say Florida State wins, and let's say maybe like a Texas wins the championship. You've got everyone is a one-loss team. Florida State's undefeated, not the national championship. What does that do for the BCS? What does that do for college football?
I mean, there's no BCS anymore.
No.
Well, not the BCS, the college.
That's
the CFP,
exactly
sorry.
what I think Ryan and I were having a conversation with you the other day about. Was like, this is the first time I can remember, especially in college football playoff history, which isn't that long.
Potentially, we're a Power 5.
Where a Power 5 undefeated champ was not in the college football playoffs. And the fact that you have 2 one-loss teams in there and 2 undefeated teams, and you have a undefeated Power 5 conference champ sitting outside of the college football playoffs is absolutely atrocious. It's just not it's like wiping before you shit. It doesn't make sense, right? I mean,
I don't think so. But we have gone back and forth about this. That I don't think Florida State.
It's like drinking decaffeinated coffee.
Yeah,
I mean,
what's
there's
the
no point of
purpose?
it.
What's the
Right?
purpose?
There's no purpose, and
Pull out game strong.
whether they should never been penalized for having a starting quarterback get hurt. One person does not make the team.
Nope.
But when that person is a potential Heisman winner,
It doesn't matter because they kept winning with a backup quarterback, and they won with their third string quarterback.
Did you see who they beat? Yes, they beat Louisville. Who's
Doesn't matter. Undefeated Power 5 champ.
I know. We could go back and forth all day on this one because I
can, and I'm going to be right.
This is I am right.
Give me the gavel. Freaking done.
Done.
I wish there was a button for that. I don't think there is. I
You're
was
done.
racking my brain.
What was the button you were looking for?
I don't know.
Just
Something.
Hit something cool. That's
Oh, baby.
There you go. That's a good one. Oh, baby. God, we are stupid. So,
Stupid is as stupid does.
I don't know,
not.
Josh, we got about 8 minutes here before our special guests are ready to go. Do you want to go into some introductions of them? Do you want to take a sponsor break? How do you want to work this?
I actually just texted both of them. They've actually got 4 more matches here, and then they're going to be on. So I think we can, if we want to start on the Ask Us Anything, if you guys want to run into that.
Okay, so
Couple questions, and
all
then
right,
when they
yeah.
hop in, we can real quick do it.
We can get through our stuff, and then
Yeah.
then we'll jump in when they're ready. They're at a wrestling match right now, so
Yep.
they're going to
Perfect.
jump on to share their story and kind of talk with us. But we're going to jump right into our Ask Us Anywhere. Anywhere. Wow. Ask Us. It's the Happy Dads.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Us Anything segment, where we ask viewers to comment on a question they have for us. If you notice, following our social medias, we asked the ladies to give us some suggestions that didn't work, but it's okay. I'm just being honest, ladies.
We're
You
not as
did
cool
not
as we might
comment.
have
Ladies,
thought we are.
You failed.
You failed a little bit. Yeah, we were asking, hey, we know we're the mainstream, but don't be intimidated. We want to talk to the ladies too. Like, follow our podcast.
Yeah.
Dave's like,
Yeah, you
Dave's
can't
like
spell
blushing
woman without
over
man
here.
in there. I just
And I know there's questions that ladies want
Mainstream.
answered of why men do this. Like, why are men stupid? What goes on in their brain? I know there is, so maybe someday. But we're going to jump into the first question we got here. What are 3 items you might purchase at a store to get strange looks from a cashier? And it's a 3-item combo.
Ooh.
Well, I went with the obvious one. I went with zip ties, duct tape, and rubber gloves.
What are you going to do with that, Dave?
What won't you do with that?
Well, I mean,
Exactly. You see,
there's
don't-
multiple opportunities.
That would make me ponder as a cashier. Like,
Exactly.
What
Like,
is this
what
guy
the
doing?
hell is this guy doing? Like, does he have to go and hang some things up? And,
Did you,
know?
were you there by yourself shopping, or did you have?
Well, you're not
somebody
going to
with
take
you?
your. Well, it's obviously alone. That makes it creepier sometimes. If you go with like your family, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is."
So, like when you were at the
normal.
cash out register, and there was a kid there.
You're not my dad!
just walk into it.
Just walk into it. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
Dave walks up, sets it on the counter, and says, "Assalamu alaikum."
Ooh.
One, please. One drugs, please.
One drugs, please.
Like one.
I said adult diapers, stool softeners, and 2 gallons of prune juice. I think that would really
That
get
implies
the,
the plumbing.
So yeah, what's the plan for that one?
Well, it's I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also had Ziploc bags, butter, and rubber bands.
Ooh, those got that's multiple applications.
Butter is what gets me.
Same here.
What do you need butter for with this? Leave me alone.
Yeah, well, homemade condoms. Times are tough.
I don't know if the plastic would really work.
I had duct tape, lube, and condoms.
You thought too much about this.
Yeah, you did. You
This
had
is-
multiple
this
options
is
here.
like-
I haven't even thrown one out.
I had some time.
I know you had some
And
time, but
chest freezer, trash bags, and saw blades.
Yeah, I mean that's.
some Dahmer shit.
Could you imagine being that cashier?
Yeah, I think everyone's like looking like,
I don't think so.
fuck, dude, that's funny.
Do you think the police would be called?
No, I wouldn't. I honestly don't because people honestly don't give a shit.
It depends upon where you're shopping. Where are you shopping?
Like at a Carter's Baby store, yeah, people are
Well,
gonna
you're
start-
not going to get a chest
I mean,
freezer
are you
and
at-
stuff
are
at
you
Carter's
Are
Baby
you
store.
at Target? Are you at Walmart? Are you at Sam's Club? Sam's Club doesn't give a crap.
Neither does Walmart, by that
doesn't give a
extension.
crap.
I don't know.
Target,
so
you might have some people.
Sam's
shading
Club, you're not going to get judged by the cashier, but you're going to get judged as hell by the person that checks your receipt and has
And
to
they're
scan
gonna,
your
yeah,
items.
they're gonna stop you and they're gonna look at you. What are you doing with this?
Yep.
I'm glad you asked. I have to do some gardening with a chest freezer. Well, you got to freeze stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm gonna go with my three, and my three. Originally we had talked about this. I'm gonna go with KY jelly, some colon blow, and some rope.
Some what?
Colon blow.
Is that like
Basically
colon blow?
Like colon blow. Remember
Like a douche?
remember
Like
Dumb and Dumber when he was wanting Harry to stay in so he could go out with that chick. He gave him a whole thing of laxative, put it in his coffee. He's like, "Ooh, have a drink,
You
have a
could
drink."
have
And
just
it
said
was like,
laxative.
Oh,
Colon blow.
okay. So colon blows.
Colon
laxative.
blow.
Got it.
So like it's
I figured that was appropriate for those three combo.
Well, colon blow. So you could have said Beano, or I would have known that.
X-Lax,
X-Lax.
anything you just said
Beano.
laxative.
What year did you? Jesus, Beano. I haven't heard of that.
Some
since the
you could have said
80s.
milk and magnesia,
Milk
motor
and
speed.
Listen here, Sonny. I'm gonna go home and get the Beano.
I thought I was older than you, and I haven't heard of that in a long time.
You are older than me,
Ipecac.
and
You
it
guys ever,
shows.
you guys ever have that Ipecac shit? Where that
Oh
makes,
yeah, nasty.
makes you vomit.
Nasty.
Ipacrack?
No,
Ipecac.
Ipecac.
Makes you
If
yak.
you drank something like you
Not
ingested
supposed to drink, yeah.
gasoline or whatever it may be, oil.
Why would you ever drink gasoline?
Yeah, why are you
Well,
drinking
I mean,
gasoline?
the only time you're gonna get gasoline is if you swallow. If you're like
Wild cherry.
trying to like pull gas out of a tank. You know what I mean? Like
You said pineapple's pretty good?
do a little
Pineapple's really
siphoning.
good.
Okay.
So you're talking about stealing gas from
Well,
yeah,
no, like
yeah.
siphoning. Yeah.
At that point, you kind of deserve it, right, or not? I mean,
Oh yeah,
if you're
absolutely,
stealing
man.
someone's
Yeah.
gas out of
Put a
there.
little Epcac in you, puke it right up.
If you're drinking gas while you steal it, you're doing it wrong.
You know, what?
Mike, there's a first time for everything.
Oh, so I
also the last
imagine
time,
what you're
too.
saying is I'm going to stick this garden hose in their gas tank and I'm going to siphon it.
Absolutely. You've
Where
never
else are you
done
gonna
that?
stick the garden hose?
Yeah.
Josh is having too much
You just
fun.
yeah, you
we're
got to
getting
take it
You
into the
are
triggers.
fired.
Oh no, T. You can stay away if you want to for a little
No,
bit.
please
I'm
come back. We
enjoying
miss
this.
you.
I'm
All
enjoying
right,
this.
we're going to jump into our next question here. This one came in. How early is too early to start drinking?
Before noon. That's always been my rule of thumb. However, I will say I've tailgated at Iowa games when you got up at 6 in the morning and start drinking apple pies, and by the time you get to the stadium, you're pretty
Yeah.
sauced up.
So
At,
I
like-
think you're saying that it depends on the occasion.
Absolutely.
yes,
But on a
because-
typical
and
day.
So if you work third shift, then your time is different.
6 a.m.
You know
Because
how weird that
I've,
was?
I've drank beers at 9 in the morning because I was working third shift. Got off at 7.
Yeah.
Got a couple beers
So
at 9 and went to bed about noon.
When I lived in Virginia in the Air Force, I worked 7 at night till 7 in the morning, and we'd
Yeah,
get
that's-
off work, and there was actually bars that opened up
For that specific
for them,
people.
and it was crazy. I'm like, this seems weird, but it's right? I mean, this
Yeah.
is my nighttime. I would say it depends on the occasion, right?
It
Like
absolutely
if you're waking up in the morning every day at 8 a.m. and cracking a Busch Light, you have a problem. And
Potentially.
No,
We're not
no, there's
judging
no-
it, but
I'm
there's-
judging. You have a problem.
No, I don't want to judge anybody because you never know what
I'm
someone's got
gonna
going
judge.
on. But,
Everybody's going to remember the orange highlighter sitting here judging them.
if you do that, we just encourage you to maybe do some inward reflection and maybe seek help if you need it.
Yeah, I would ask you to ask your family, do you think I'm an alcoholic?
No, sir.
Yeah, do you have a sir, yes, sir? But it depends on the situation. I mean, I grew up with Iowa Hawkeye football tickets. we would go to games, and at 7
And this is before when it
a.m.
was a dry campus, when you could not take.
You could. Well, I was there
Alcohol
for
and-
both. You could. They didn't sell beer at the game.
Yeah, but you
so
could
this
get-
was when you would get.
so not a dry campus, but like a dry.
Well, then they came out with the rule, and Josh probably remembers it, where you could walk on campus sidewalks with a beer, but not city sidewalks.
Yep.
Or did I have that backwards?
No, you're right.
Right.
What?
Yeah. So
you
and
just-
where we
you
would
just get
park.
shit faced on Iowa's campus.
Yeah, dude. And where we would park at Hancher Auditorium, we had to cross a lot of city streets. So we would have to hide our beer in our coat or something as we crossed that street. But where
That's just stupid.
when we parked at Hancher, we figured it out. Everybody asked me, well, how long of a walk? Still this day. If they say, hey, oh, you going to the football game? Where you tailgating? We used to tailgate at Hancher. It's a great spot. There's one particular bush that was great to walk in and pee in.
Bush.
Like bush.
Got my favorite piss bush.
Yes, and they would randomly leave a door open in the auditorium that my dad found to take a shit in. So you didn't have to go to the porta potty. Yeah, you went into the bathroom in there.
We
so,
could talk about that too. Like, I do not like shitting in porta
well,
potties.
no, we've already talked about that.
Okay.
But so we figured it out. Everybody says, how long does it take to walk to the stadium? Well, it's a 2-beer walk. It takes two
beers to get
two
there,
beers.
yeah.
I couldn't tell you how long, but it takes 2 beers.
2 beers.
But
It's the way the beer's
I think
drank.
it depends on the situation. I've been to Iowa games where we started tailgating at 7 in the morning. Game started at 7 at night.
Oh, yeah, that's-
I've been to Jimmy Buffett concerts where you started tailgating at noon.
3 days before.
Well, yeah, it depends on- yeah. Have not been to a Fish concert, but I imagine you start doing shrooms 3 days before.
Ooh.
Anyways, but Dave's giving you the fuck me eyes right there, the camera. Did you see that? But anyways,
That's what she said.
so it depends on the situation, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeff?
I would say for me, again, I'm in the occasion thing again. I've been to Hawkeye game tailgates early in the morning. Myself, I'm not drinking that early. You know, if it's an 11 o'clock game, I might throw one down at 10 o'clock before I go into the stadium, but I'm not drinking, I'm not drinking at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. That's just, I can't do it because I'm like Frank the Tank. It's, you know, once it hits your lips, it's so good.
What if you
And
were
I'll be
still
blacked,
up
I'll
from
be
the-
blacked out before that happens.
What if you were still up from the night before and start drinking at 5
like you
a.m.
said,
or
it
6
changes it because then it's still technically your day.
No,
from
but what if
before,
you
'cause,
were
like,
what if you were drinking all night till 5 or 6 a.m.?
You know what? Have you drank yourself sober? I have.
I have. I've also.
I have too, actually. Yeah,
I've also
it's
drank so
stupid.
much to where I woke up, I was fine, and then like 12 hours later, the hangover kicked in.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, if you like, so have you guys ever gotten like wine drunk? Like, I mean, wine drunk.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of bottles. So it's so
That's bad.
it's so bad
So
because
bad.
the next morning you're thirsty
And,
And
it's,
and you
you're
drink
pounding
and you
headache.
drink water and you
dude.
just get drunk again.
it is
like,
the worst headache in the world.
It's
And
like
that's
that-
all-
it's
that's
that
all they used
water
to drink.
It's like that
Dude.
water rehydrates everything.
You want to slam your head in a door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it's so
brutal.
bad. It's
it doesn't
so
matter
bad.
what kind of wine it is. Like
It's
I've
not
never
good.
not been safe from the wine hangover when you get like shit face off wine.
I think that's why, Dave. I think that's why they serve you this much in a glass when you buy it out at a restaurant.
That's why the priest looks at you funny when you drink the whole thing of wine
Yeah,
when you're
probably.
in the,
Yep.
Oh, that's not grape juice? Oh,
That's
sorry.
not grape juice.
just take it out in the chalice and slam it. Sorry.
Right. So we're going to jump into the next question here. What are your thoughts on New Year's resolutions? With New Year's coming up, kind of thought this might be a good one to plug.
Well, I don't. I think that any day is a good day to start trying to better your life or better yourself instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to do it on this day." Just do it today and go with it. However, I understand the significance of it, maybe the symbolism of it, because it is a new beginning, technically. I
Hey,
guess
Josh, you're behind the computer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could do this quick.
Sure.
What would be the percentage of New Year's resolutions that have been completed on average?
2%.
Oh, well, I think that's probably going to be a skewed number.
I don't care if it's skewed or
It's-
accurate or
Well, you can just do
facts.
any. I'm sure the New York Post has got some kind of poll on it. They do.
Look
Okay.
look in the Huffington Post.
Here,
Brendan Huff.
Fisher College of Business,
There you
why
go.
most New Year's resolutions fail. Researchers suggest that only 9% of Americans that actually make resolutions complete them.
Yeah, that's why. That's
yeah,
why
see,
I don't.
that's crazy. That's
Yep.
I mean,
And-
I did it. When Planet Fitness opened up in Dubuque, I was like, I got a New Year's resolution. I'm going to start working out. Yeah, dude, got a gym membership, went for like a month. And then I was like, all right, I'm done with this.
So, kind of dovetail off of what you just said, it does also say the research goes on to show that 23% of the people quit that resolution in the first week. 43% quit by the end of January. So you basically got half
Yeah.
of the people that are done in a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
I
that's
think
what I'm saying. It doesn't.
why do you need New Year's to set a resolution?
That's what I'm saying.
I know that's what you're saying.
I know I'm not going to get it done. I'm not going to set obvious expectations. I know I can't
no, it's
live
always
up
good to have goals, but you don't need to set this like January 1st. Oh my God, it's the new me. Like do it December 6th. Do it like July 15th. You know,
I think the best way
April
to do,
20th is a great one to restart things. You know, I'm just saying like you can just any day is a good day to start a resolution. Just start doing it
420.
yourself and stick with it. Like if you really believe in it, if it's about doing something healthy, doing something whatever. Like hey, I want to.
Did you say something healthy?
Cocaine and hookers, my friend.
Yeah.
Well,
something healthy.
You know, and that's the thing. Like, so I had that gym membership. I went for a month and I stopped. And my wife can attest to this. If she's watching, she can comment on YouTube Live and say that is true. I had that gym membership for like 3 more years, and I never went.
Because
and
you
she's
always
like,
want
you
to.
literally pay for that stuff. I'm like, I called and tried to cancel it, but they told me I had to come in and cancel it.
Was it Planet Fitness where you got to pay like $10 a month or whatever
Yeah.
it is? Yeah.
Well, I paid $20 to get in there. I don't know. I paid more than just the $10 for.
So you got like the premium package where you get in and do
Yeah,
like
and
tanning booth and all the other crap.
that water bed.
The
thing?
water bed.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
Yeah,
the
the
best. It's the
hydro
only
bed.
reason. It's
Yeah.
the only reason that I would ever went is I do a
hydro
little
bed.
workout and then just go sit in the hydro bed for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And be like,
Yeah,
I worked
dude.
out all day.
Oh, sorry.
I think the biggest thing with the New Year's resolutions is accountability. I mean, in anything that you do in life, it's accountability. I think if you had a goal that you set forth out for your New Year's resolution and you told it to your friends and they were able to help you and hold you accountable, or you guys all created a New Year's resolution together, like us 5, let's say we all wanted to lose 10% body weight, then we can all hold each other accountable. But if you're doing it on your own, it's so easy to give up on yourself, where if you've got people holding you accountable, it's so hard.
Absolutely. And we're doing it at the fire department. It's not a New Year's resolution. It just happens to fall after New Year's. We're doing the Biggest Loser competition. I think there's a couple of us that sit at desks that started realizing that maybe it's not the dryer that's shinking our clothes. It's that we're actually just gaining weight. Man, I stepped on a scale today and I'm like, holy crap. When did I become
Would you hit 200?
almost?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh
I know.
God, shit! I haven't seen
Yeah.
that since 4th grade,
Well,
5th grade, maybe.
Some of us, but anyway,
Maybe
so we're
6,
doing the
maybe
Biggest
6.
Loser. It's a $20 buy-in. And I had to make sure when we were first discussing this, like, hey, man, like this is off of percentage, right? Because I don't have as much to lose as other people.
Yep.
Not calling anybody fat, just saying. So we're doing it. And my wife's already said, I'm going to hold you accountable. You better start working out.
Does
Get
she?
running,
Is she still
bud.
going?
She is, yeah. And I think she's going to do the Biggest Loser with us too, just for the
Good
the
for
heck
you.
of it. So,
Hey.
yeah.
I'm proud
Let
of
me
you.
give a shout. Oh, Ryan's not here. We can't shout out.
Yeah,
So-
we get no shout outs, Ryan. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Ryan.
Well, here's my take on that. You talking about your wife. This year we failed as a family to take family pictures. So Christmas card out the window because the kids have grown up over the past year. So what do? Try to be tech savvy.
Except for your oldest, he hasn't grown up at all.
I know I know. But we take our pictures that we got done last year, throw them into one of those AI imagers. And, it made the kids look a little bit older, made them look a little bit more dapper. I put them all in suits. And then I did a picture of Candace and I together. Oh, I'll show you guys these later. They're classic.
Get them all like comb over to the side.
Oh, for sure, dude. Tyson looks like he's 21. Parker's like 30.
A Guido mustache.
No, they all look like bankers. But then here Candace and I look like I'm 220 pounds, which is a far cry from where I'm at now. And Candace's response was, I look fucking good. Not me, but her. And she goes,
That's what she said.
that's what I want to be in 2024. And I said, well, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to look like that guy, but,
Like a Sylvester Stallone beach body.
God. It looked like Dolph Lundgren with a red beard, to be honest.
I superimposed my face over a picture of The Rock.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. I mean, as light skinned as I am, the guy had the tan neck and everything else. So it was like one of those things where it's like,
Doesn't match
it
up.
just doesn't match,
Right. I'm going to put you both on the spot and say, what would one of the dumbest New Year's resolutions be?
I think to lose weight, and for the sake of losing weight, I think get healthier. I don't think lose weight. Weight, just
Yeah.
numbers. Get healthier. If you're eating too many sweets and shit, go eat vegetables. Like, it's not about weight. It's about how healthy you are, overall wellness.
Oh, I eat healthy as hell, but my metabolism is just awfully goddamn slow. So I got to kickstart that and get that going. And I think that'll
You're
help me
kidding.
out.
You have a low metabolism?
Could you tell?
No.
I wasn't
You
gonna
should
say,
start drinking Happy Dads. It might help.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Dude, I'm going to plug Happy Dad all night.
Absolutely. Why not?
Anyways, so all right, so we all established that New Year's resolutions are stupid, and if you want to do them, follow through, but don't set them if you're not. What?
What's wrong, Dave?
I don't know. I'm sorry. My brain went to the wrong spot. I'm going to plug Happy Dad all night long.
Happy Dad's getting pegged.
Butt plug.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
let's not talk about that. We're losing viewers.
Okay.
Did we drop a viewer?
We dropped a couple.
Oh,
Good
man.
for you.
Thank you.
Yep. Sorry about that.
I'm not.
That's okay.
Have you ever attempted any stunts or pranks from Jackass?
Richter, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, not as an adult, because I think if I did it as an adult, I'd definitely end up in the hospital. But
When they came out, were you an adult?
yeah. God dang, when did they come out? It had to be like
2000
early
Well,
2000s,
what
right?
was before Jackass?
Wild Boys?
Wild Boys.
No, it was.
Viva La Bam?
No, that
No.
wasn't before Jackass.
Was it during?
I mean, there was some
CKY or
yeah,
something like
there was some backyard bullshit going on, but like
Right.
I think my brother and I we
Wrestling.
lived pretty dangerously. I think as kids in rural Iowa, we had a trampoline. This is probably the
Ooh, you
biggest.
badass.
This is probably the biggest stunt that we ever did, but you know it was not really dangerous. We could have broken a leg or a back, but we had a 2-story house and we had an addition on it for our kitchen, and so the kitchen was only 1 story. Well, my brother's bedroom led out to like the window in his room led out to the roof of the kitchen. And our trampoline was just right off of the kitchen. And so we would always climb out his window and go to the peak of that roof and jump off of the roof onto the trampoline. You really can't control yourself as where you're going. You know, we didn't know anything about physics or geometry or, you know, anything math related of like, hey, if I jump off here and don't hit at the right angle, I'm not going to land back on the trampoline once I hit. So I jumped off of the trampoline. I want to say I was 12. And
So
we,
still got rubber bones, or if you land, it's okay.
Well,
It's going to
yeah.
heal up good.
Yep. And so we had those white plastic yard chairs, right? And so I jumped off of this thing. And of course, at 12 years old, I was probably 200 pounds, big kid. And I hit that thing and I probably went another 15 feet in the air and about 15 feet out. And I ended up landing on one of these plastic chairs and broke my tailbone. You want to talk about the worst summer of my life? I couldn't sit down to take a shit.
You had to
anything.
have a donut.
Oh, didn't know about a donut. Nobody took me to the hospital. Like I just my tailbone
Suck
was
it up,
bruised
son.
the entire
Get up
summer.
and walk it off.
Thank
Rub some
God
dirt in it.
I wasn't a catcher in baseball and I played first base.
You are a catcher.
Just the catcher in general. I didn't catch in baseball, but I caught other things. You know,
I
just
caught other things. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think everybody that watched Jackass
attempted something at
We
one
used to,
point or
I don't,
another.
you know,
None of the
here's-
weird shit, like drinking the weird stuff
No,
or anything
no,
like
no,
that.
no,
That's
no,
but
no,
like
no.
doing some of the stunts
Too far.
you know.
Yeah. So like, I mean, ladies, this is going to answer a lot of questions you might have about the male brain. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys ever play the freaking the nut hit game?
Oh,
Where
yeah,
you lay
nut-
down.
we-
and
yeah,
you
that was-
yeah, you lay down and you. I don't know how far away you are, 20 feet, and you toss something up in the air
See
to
if
try
you
to
hit
hit
someone
the
in the
other guy
nuts.
in the nuts.
Oh, I thought you were talking about walking behind someone and just going like that.
No.
and giving the
No,
old,
that's not tapping.
We
sack
did a
tap.
racquetball and we played it pretty regularly in our dorm room when we were in college. You'd set like in a V and you'd set 15 feet between each other and you'd throw that. And man, when that hits your nut, whew,
Racquetball
You
is an
just wanna
underrated
puke.
activity.
Puke.
Just throwing that in there. If you're talking about resolutions, not to go back on that, but racquetball, getting a racquetball, do some kind of like that because it's
Pickleball.
pickleball.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Pickleball is the
too.
fastest growing sport in America.
It's fun.
think-
It's fun. We
yeah.
played it in high school and it was fun. I haven't played it since,
hey,
but
hey, 2-time pickleball champ, high school, junior, senior year. Thank you.
this guy's reliving the
What
glory
hasn't
days,
this
dude.
guy done?
Oh yeah, you know, I just one time I ran for 4,000 yards
Hey
as a
guys,
left tackle, and
you still haven't brought up the fact that my high school is like
In Nebraska.
super small, and we graduated with the biggest class ever of like
I'm the
32.
best shuttlecock hitter in badminton ever.
Shuttlecock.
played cricket too.
Yep. Well, we might want to get off of this. We're losing a couple viewers here.
Good,
We're losing a couple viewers. Okay.
not good. Stay with us, folks.
All right, stay with us here. We're working on it.
We're patiently waiting for our guests to come
Yeah,
on.
so we're gonna take a quick sponsor break, and you're gonna hear a word from our sponsor, Deary Nissan. Deary Nissan is in Dubuque, Iowa. They are there for all your vehicle needs, and we're gonna take a quick break, hear a word from our sponsor, and then we're gonna jump into our this week's draft, a new segment we started last week, and we will go more into that when we are back from this brief message.
Hello, I'm Chad Waters, General Manager of Deary Brothers Nissan, and I invite you to come experience the difference a dealer can make. We're offering a whole new way of doing business centered around a total customer service experience. From pre-sale to post-sale, our team will be with you every step of the way. Be sure to check out our Deary certified program, including our 3,000-mile warranty. So come experience the difference a dealer can make at Deary Brothers Nissan.
We're back.
We are back here. Thank you for the words from Deary Nissan. They are there for all your vehicle needs. Go see them and mention the Manstream, and who knows, they might give you a discount. I'm not guaranteeing it, but they might. We're going to jump into a segment we started last week that happened to actually be one of the most interactive Facebook and social media posts we've had. This week's draft. Last week we did Christmas movies. This week we're going to stick on the movie topic, and we are going to do 90s comedies. We are all born and raised in the 90s, so we all have fun with that and love the 90s. Hence my orange highlighter jersey here, Bobby Boucher.
How pissed would you be if I took Waterboy?
Dude, it's up to you. We did a randomizer here. Dave got first pick this week. I got second, and Josh got third. It is a snake draft, so
Always last, man.
Yeah,
Last in the
Well, they
draft.
saved the best for the last, they say.
Last week, and then I'm last in the polls for.
Well, you're last
recaps,
in the
last
picks because you pick them. Nobody else picks them. So we're going to jump right into this week's draft, and Dave is going to start with his number one pick. We are doing 5, and look out then over the next few days for a social media post where you guys can pick the winner. Dave, the floor is yours.
Okay, one of the best movies I've ever seen and the funniest to this date is the South Park movie that came out in 1999.
That's what you're picking for
Is
number
one pick because it is the funniest movie.
It is funny.
Never seen it.
What?
You need to stop. You don't even like South Park, dude. He doesn't understand.
Never seen it. Never seen South Park. So
He's also old.
Yeah.
They're older.
I am going to go with Tommy Boy.
Ooh, great-
Tommy
great
Boy is
show.
one of my favorite comedies of all time. Need a little wind here. No, it looks like you could drop a few 100 pounds, blamp.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a good pick.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Had it on my
awesome.
list. Had it on my
Yep,
list.
yep.
Josh, you got...
Let me cross that off my list.
you got 3 and 4 here, Josh.
There
Yeah.
goes one of the 6 Richter picked and hoping that he doesn't get his name.
No, I had a pretty good list. I mean, I grew up in the 90s, man. So did Mike, Dave. You were just born, so.
No,
I'm older-
Dave's older than
I'm
me,
older
so
than Mike.
by like 6 months.
All right, so I'm gonna say probably one of the best comedy movies from the 90s that I still watch to this day anytime it's on. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and
Good
Dumber.
one.
That's
Good
a good
one.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That made my list. If that doesn't make your list, we got to have a conversation. You're probably born not in the 90s. So
Yeah, absolutely.
you got another one here, Josh.
We got a chat here. It says, "Let's play a game. Drink every time Mike says jump into." That's a great one, Ashley.
Is that from my wife?
That is from Ashley. Yep.
Ashley. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Ashley.
So
Jump
into it. Jump into
Jump
it.
into it.
Jump into it. We need to do that, or is she going to do that at
I
home?
think no, it's just Mike.
Mike just.
Hey, why don't everybody grab their
He might not be
happy
sober.
dad and take a drink every time I say jump into it?
Yeah,
We're going to make that a button.
You might have to come get him, Ashley.
No, I'll walk.
It's just
All right,
yonder.
so let me hit the second one up here. Austin Powers.
Awesome
You
Powers.
a-hole.
And
That was a good one.
The International Man of Mystery.
Yeah, that's a good one. I was going to pick that for my next one had I gotten the chance, but
Yeah, well, stole it from you.
thieving.
I didn't even put that on there. All right, I am going to go with Mrs. Doubtfire.
You went that route.
I don't like the boys because I used to be one.
Mrs. Doubtfire is great. Robin Williams movies are all fantastic, I think.
I
mean,
agree.
The whole
the most
time?
part.
The whole time?
The whole time.
You got 2.
Okay, I'll do The Big Lebowski,
Dickhead.
which is a fantastic movie.
Josh doesn't like it.
I never, not really ever seen it.
That's because you're out of your element.
Nebraska.
Nebraska. Office Space.
That didn't
Oh,
even make
you
my list.
Another great movie that I had to
You
pull.
mother-
I'm
You saw my list earlier. I saw you look at it.
bullshit. I have this thing texted to me at 11:34 a.m. I have it
All right.
time stamped right here for what I was doing.
That did not make my list.
Well, you didn't think of it.
Yeah. I didn't.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
I am
God,
going
great
to
movie.
go with Waterboy.
Yeah, you got to take that one.
I do got to take it. Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, it made my list. That's obviously a good one. I thought that would be more of an obvious one that people would take because it's such a great movie. Waterboy is a fantastic movie.
Joe Montana.
Okay, so Dave, you did Office Space and what else?
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
And
Big
South Park.
Lebowski, and then the South Park
Yeah,
movie.
I got that one. And what did you do there, Mike? What was your pick? I just want to make sure I'm not duping
Tommy
everything up.
Boyd, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Waterboy.
Waterboy. We left that open for you just because you're wearing that jersey.
I did.
Yeah, I'm like, he's gonna want it.
Yeah.
You can have it.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go right after that with another great Jersey movie with the same actor. I'm gonna go Happy Gilmore.
I'm having a stroke.
Yeah, I was.
Happy Gilmore's great.
Happy Gilmore is great.
Also one of the best movies I've ever seen for like golf movies, especially. But
The price is wrong, bitch.
just in general, I like Happy Gilmore more than I like Waterboy. Honestly, if I'm
I
being,
did too.
I'm being honest.
I
But yeah,
figured
but
people
Waterboy's great.
would like yell at me if I took Happy Gilmore over Waterboy,
Yeah.
seeing I'm wearing the jersey.
Yeah.
This one might not be traditional, but I loved it growing up. Basketball.
Oh, good one. Good one,
dickhead.
dude. Yeah, that
I was literally going to say that next.
That's a good one because I said the South Park movie. I was
You're a
thinking
butt
maybe
wipe.
it's funny. It's such a funny movie and it's such a great game.
And see, that's
I
the thing.
played the game.
I've never watched South Park, but those two guys, I
funny.
know the creators of it.
Your mom's going out with squeaks.
They're fucking hilarious.
How many of you guys did actually play basketball then after you
Oh,
saw the
yeah,
movie?
we tried,
we did
absolutely,
too. We did
1000%.
too. We all
Aw.
played basketball. It was
Stacy's mom's pubes. All right, for my what pick am I on? 3?
4.
4. For my 4th pick, I'm going with American Pie.
good pick. I had that also on my list. American Pie is a classic. If you haven't seen it, then you didn't grow up in the 90s because it was the best movie and the hottest movie in the late to mid to late
Hottest.
90s.
What do you
yeah.
mean hottest?
Oh, I mean that it
Nadia?
was just raunchy and
Nadia.
yeah,
Dave,
yeah. It
Dave
was just good.
really likes apple pie.
I love apple pie.
Did you ever do
Warm
that?
apple pie.
Did you ever do that?
We're
No.
not
Okay.
getting into
What a-
dashboard confessionals.
What the heck? No. All right.
You got 2.
The movie Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Friday
Mm,
is a fantastic movie,
It
and
is.
I'm surprised nobody picked that.
I didn't want to.
And
I
then
almost didn't even want to put it in a comedy, but because it is a comedy.
How
It is a
is it
comedy.
not a
I know, but
comedy?
I didn't want to put it into a comedy, but it definitely is. I totally agree with you.
Okay, my last one. And I had so many here. But I'm gonna have to take Ace Ventura.
That's not a
Pet
bad
Detective?
One. That's not a bad
Yeah, Pet Detective.
Just put me in, coach. Just give me a chance.
The one with
I know
Dan-
there's a
the
lot
one
of
with
ride
Dan
on it, but
Marino,
it's all
right?
psychological.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and it came out in the '90s. It was I love Jim Carrey in general. I mean, Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors
In
ever.
spurts. I go with Jim Curry in spurts.
I love it. I think sometimes he can be over the top and stuff about some of his characters, but that's what he does. He sells it. He
He's a
plays
method
character.
actor.
He's very good.
Yeah.
He's very good. And he seems like a better human being from what I've seen, but it's neither here nor there. But Ace Ventura, Pet Detective
Ace Ventura, Pet
is
Detective.
yeah.
Nice.
So you had 2 there?
Is that? Can I take another one?
No,
Can we do 6?
no.
Come on.
Honorable mention.
I am
All right,
going
fine.
to go with Wayne's World.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, why did I cross it off?
'Cause you
Put an M
picked
next to
it.
that. Yeah, well, I meant to put an M next to
That's
it.
not a bad one.
What do you mean that's not a bad one? That's
It's
a
not-
comedy.
It is. It's not a bad
And there
one.
was a sequel.
I'm in the same.
I mean, there's a sequel. Anytime there's a
I'm in the
sequel.
same boat as Richter. Yeah, it's not a bad one.
Wayne's World.
I was more excited about your other picks,
Party
but
time. Let's jump on in.
Take a drink, Mike. So I've got the last one, and I'm gonna stick on the theme.
Comedy?
No, I'm gonna.
I would hope. I would hope.
I'm gonna stick
gonna
on
go
the theme-
drama.
No, I'm gonna stick on the theme of Adam Sandler. I'm gonna go with Billy Madison.
That's
That's
a good one. I was thinking, but you could have gone with any 3 of those Billy Madison. Or, I
And
mean,
that was
Adam
almost
Sandler
like
ones.
I love Adam Sandler, but like
Stop
there
staring at
are
me, Swan.
some movies
Stop looking at me,
that
Swan.
he's just dumb as shit. Like
What?
I could not watch Little Nicky.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, I loved
Couldn't watch
Little Nicky.
Popeye's chicken is
My
fucking
wife
awesome.
loves it, but like
Valerie.
I can't do it. Can't do it.
It's so funny.
Dude, Little Nicky is so good.
Good
I
luck
can't
with
do
the
it.
nipple rubbing.
Well, and
I
like
don't need
he's
luck.
got another movie
I'm
out there
good.
with I
Hi,
think
ma'am.
Jack Nicholson.
Did that come out in the 90s?
Anger
or is that-
Management?
No,
That came out in
yeah,
2000s,
anger management.
but-
Yeah, and then the other one he has is like Click. I can't stand that one.
Click
either.
is
Click
such
is
a
a-
sad movie.
It's such
Yeah.
a fantastic movie. It's
Dude.
it's sad,
What is
but
wrong
it's
with you?
fantastic. I just love Adam. Bedtime Stories is a great movie. Adam Sandler's a fantastic actor. I don't care what anyone
Pixels.
says.
Bedtime
Pixels
Stories
was
was
great.
good. Pixels was good. Yeah.
Just go with it.
All of Adam Sandler movies that I've ever seen.
someone you
50
could
First Dates.
have thrown in this the
that's
Wedding
not
Singer.
90s.
Airheads.
Was that the 90s?
The Wedding
Yeah.
Singer was
Yeah,
90s.
okay.
Airheads is better. That's just my opinion.
Airheads is a great movie.
I don't
watched
like
it
The
the
Wedding
other
Singer.
day.
I like the Wedding Singer.
don't
I
care
like
for it.
it's a different type of comedy, I guess.
And
But
it
it's
is.
Let's be honest.
It's like a
Grown-ups,
rom-com.
Grown-ups was good.
Grown-ups was great, I thought.
And Adam Sandler. The one thing I will say though, I heard he was just around this area for stand-up.
He was in Des Moines.
and
Was he?
I heard it was terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Rob Schneider was his his intro guy, his whatever you want to, his opening act.
yeah.
And I had a ton of friends that went to that show.
Said Schneider was
And
funny?
they said Schneider was hands down the best comic that night.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
right. Sorry.
I was gonna say, can I do an honorable mention of Heavyweights? Heavyweights is a fantastic movie. Fantastic movie, and I'm pretty sure that came out in the 90s.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, God,
That's not bad.
Such-
I mean, there's a
I'm
lot
not
of
going
good,
to fat camp.
there's a lot
You
of
watch
great,
your mouth, Jerry.
Yeah, there's a lot, of
great movies in the 90s.
Ben Stiller was
Clerks,
great in that
Clerks,
Clerks was another one. Yeah.
Bill and Ted's.
Mallrats.
The
Bill and Ted's
Mask.
excellent.
Mallrats,
The
Cable
Mask.
Guy,
Yeah,
Cable Guy.
We could let's go on and on because the Cable Guy was good.
Oh,
Night at the
God.
Roxbury. Liar,
Oh,
liar.
Man, I forgot
Night at the
about
Roxbury is good.
Roxbury.
Rush Hour. Like I put all these ones
Yeah.
down like that.
So I seen that today when I just did a quick Google search. I completely forgot Rush Hour was in the 90s.
It's the first one. It was great. Jackie Chan. Chris Tucker's hilarious. I love Chris
right.
Tucker. But
Right.
yeah, anyway, so we could go all night about these ones because we all love a bunch of movies in the 90s and stuff. But
We do. I would say, Josh, you're a butthole for taking basketball because that was going to be my pick. Basketball is such a good movie.
I'm pretty confident with my list. Last week I threw a random curveball at the end, and I think
last week you screwed the pooch real
Yeah.
hard. You could have easily took Home Alone,
Home Alone
and beat us all.
beat everybody, and I was.
But
Just,
instead, you took Navigating
and
Christmas.
then I told Mike like 2 minutes later, I'm like, dude, what am I doing? I just missed Home Alone, picked
You-
Navigating Christmas over Home Alone. What a
You
dumbass.
fucked up.
Yeah, let's just put it this way. Dave got scared.
I got scared and panicked.
he
I panic order. Whenever I go to any restaurant, I panic order. I look at the thing, I'm like, just give me this. And I hope it's good. Yeah, honestly. I don't get yelled at, but I get told, why do you do that? Like, why do you panic order? I don't know. I just get excited and then I don't know what the hell I want anymore. And I want
Yeah,
He does it in fantasy football too.
he does. he
sometimes I
does.
panic order into the right picks though.
Beer and propane.
All right,
Yeah.
so our guests are logging in here. So
They're logging in.
Yeah, they're
Perfect.
logging
I'm
in.
excited.
Yeah.
So-
I'm gonna have to do some navigating here on the old Zoom to get them in. So I'm probably gonna take myself down and off the mic here for a little bit.
Yeah,
You're good.
navigate Christmas.
We'll continue talking. We can continue talking about 90s movies or actually let's talk about this because this was a close second pick for draft would have been new metal. New rock. 90s,
go all night on
late
that stuff, too.
90s, early 2000s rock. Just stay tuned. We may do that in one of these
Say about that because music is something
and I think
love.
Dave and I would potentially have the chance to win in that one because Dave and I are big new rock fans, new metal fans. I know you've been to a lot of new metal concerts. I've been to new metal concerts. I still to this day watch Woodstock 99 documentaries because I think about that lineup, dude, and I'm like, good God, that lineup was insane.
There's been a lot of good ones.
And Korn when they play Blind at Woodstock 99 and the way the crowd like that just gives me chills every time I see it. So, but maybe we might do new rock. We want your opinion is what we want. Give us some suggestions.
Yeah, if you want us
comment
to
on
do-
our social medias. Send me a text.
if you
Send
want us
me
to do
an
anything,
email.
yeah, just
I mean-
post it because we're open to suggestions. We want to answer questions that you guys have, some topics that you want us to talk about or something, or maybe we just want to hear more airtime on.
Give
just let
Dave a
us know.
call 8675309.
That's Jenny.
8675.
Everyone knows that's Jenny, dummy.
Jenny, I got your number.
I found it on the bathroom
no.
stall.
If you want to hear us do a draft, talk about it could be funny things. It could be, things that
Yep, I think we got him here, guys. Give me one sec to get him on.
Well, perfect. We're gonna jump into our guest here.
yeah, so I'm gonna give you you got him on, Josh?
Yep. Can you guys hear us over there, Jim? Dalton?
Yep.
All right.
Perfect. I'm going to try to get you on the camera here. I know I've got a screen for
So
it.
while Josh is working on getting them on the camera, we do have some special stuttering around my words today. Must be the Happy Dad hard seltzers. We have some special guests here. Jim and Masney and Coach Dalton Bullard. They're here to share a story. Jim is the father of the rising Illinois High School Wrestling Association, Jimmy, and Coach Dalton Bullard. If I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize. I'm not good with that. Is a two-time NCAA All-American and 2013 national runner-up at 133 pounds. I'm going to turn it over to Josh to kind of go over the rest of it, and we'll go on from there.
All right. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Appreciate it. Know you guys had a match tonight or a tournament, and things were running behind, as they tend to in the wrestling world. But we appreciate you coming on here. Jim, I know that we've got a mutual friend, with Gerald, and he was the one that kind of put us in touch, and we really hadn't heard about your guys' story here in Iowa. Being a big wrestling state, it just hadn't made its way over here yet. But Gerald told me about it, and it definitely intrigued me. It didn't sit well, reading the story and finding out what had happened, but reading through things, it seems like some of the kinks got worked out for now. But I'm going to turn it over to you guys and kind of let you tell the story and what happened, and how we go from here.
Okay, yep, and I apologize that we're late. Yeah, we're at the tournament here.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm behind. But yeah, okay, so my son's an incoming freshman. In Illinois, there's rules with how far you can go to a private school. Like you have to be within a 30-mile radius of a private school.
Okay.
So I think in Iowa there's open enrollment. We
Yep.
do not have that in Illinois. Wish we did.
Yep.
But it's not like that. So as an incoming freshman, he chose to go to a school that's damn near 60 miles from the house. It's about 58 miles away.
That's a hell of a drive every morning if you had to do it.
Exactly. And it's not even, you can't legally do it for it, like,
Yeah. Probably a school permit and stuff like that and license. Yeah.
Yep, distance wise. So my wife's real good friends with a woman that lives in Woodstock. Long story short, I'm gonna do that. He'll move into Woodstock and he'll go to school. He's 4 miles away from it.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
that's basically what happened. And then there were some kids that transferred to that school. They all got cleared. Illinois has some weird rules with transferring.
Yep.
And I thought that would be part of it. Like they considered him a transfer, but he was an incoming freshman, hasn't even been in a public school. He was homeschooled for.
Yeah, I read that you guys homeschooled him for a while.
Yep, just to stay out of all the bullshit in the public schools.
Yeah. And was it? Let me ask you real quick, Jim. Was that kind of stemming from COVID? Have you always homeschooled Jimmy, or was that one of those things where, COVID hit and you guys were like, we're going to keep him home, keep him healthy, nothing happens to him, or is it just one of those things you guys have always done for him?
It was, the code, once they were saying, hey, get this kid a mask on this kid, get a shot in this kid, do all that. And then I was like, hey, let's not do that.
Okay.
So, and, so he ended up being homeschooled. He hasn't been in the public school thing since 2020, so going on 4 years now.
Okay.
So no school in Illinois really owns him per se.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of way it works in Illinois. Whatever district you live in, that's where you're supposed to go.
Yep.
If you're going to attend a private school, you got to be within 30 miles. So we jumped through all the hoops or whatever to make it work. And then the IHSA basically says, well, we don't like the fact that he's living with the coach's mom.
Okay.
I said, okay, I understand that, but he's not really you're looking at he's living with the coach's mom. We're telling you he's living with my wife's best friend.
Yeah. So there was a relationship there before that
Long before,
they
yes.
didn't look into or do some research on. They just kind of wanted to throw the book at him right away.
No, they did. They just said they don't like it. They just said they think that that's a form of recruitment.
Oh, okay. Here in Iowa, the open enrollment law, we've got a lot of private schools here, mostly religious, but I mean, we've got a powerhouse in Iowa that I would consider football wise, Dowling Catholic. And, when I was in high school, I'm not going to date myself, but it was, shut up, Dave. It was 75.
I didn't do it.
That was me.
I didn't do it.
It was $7,500 to enroll in a high school. And, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they recruited kids from other schools in the Des Moines metro area, to come play sports for them. And I had a friend in particular that was a standout. He's now playing for Iowa State. He's a freshman starting D-back. And, he got recruited by Dowling his final 2 years, then ended up transferring to Ankeny and finished up there. So, I mean, we definitely understand the recruitment here in Iowa, but didn't really know that the laws were that strict in Illinois for you guys and your kids.
Right. And I mean, here's the deal too. It's kind of a lot of these programs, when there is no really, if you're a good program or a good school,
Yep.
that is your recruitment, right? You don't actually have to go out and head
Sure.
on a kid, something like that. If you have a product everybody wants to be a part of, well,
Yeah.
there's that, you know.
And so the head coach got, tell me a little bit about what happened, like what you guys have had to go through over the past couple of weeks or months leading up to Jimmy actually getting reinstated and is able now to wrestle, correct?
Yes, and kind of. It's right now they ended up getting a temporary restraining order against the IHSA. So the head coach, or not even the head coach, but the coach that got suspended and Jimmy,
Yep.
they can participate in IHSA events.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're at. They go back January 5th for another hearing or something. I really don't know. I'm kind of, I
Trying
don't
to
want
wrap.
to say not involved. I'm just kind of,
Yeah.
none of it makes sense.
Yep.
None of it makes sense to me, to the point where I'm just burnt out on it
Sure.
completely.
Sure.
And every time you hear something, there's like another new policy. Oh, well, they think that, there's this, there's that. And it's like, when does it end here? He's a, leave him alone. He's
Well,
a freshman.
I'm gonna, we're from Iowa, Jim, but I'm gonna say it right now. It's Illinois. It's politics. It happens.
Oh, it's terrible. It's brutal. It's brutal.
So let's hear. I've done some research now. On Jimmy, checking out Flow track wrestling. Trying to see. He seems like a promising young athlete as far as wrestling goes in his weight class. I mean, he's a freshman, just turned 16. Kid looks like an animal. I've watched some of Dalton. I've watched some of the videos you guys had at your wrestling school, and I mean he looks like he's a formidable opponent. I mean, tell me a little bit about him as a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an exceptional wrestler. Obviously, he has some mentality and toughness that a lot of guys don't have, and he listens well and he works really hard, and you put that together and he's gonna be good. So right now, yeah, he's a freshman. Looking forward to all the matches that he's gonna get this year or throughout the year, whether it's in season or off season. But yeah, I mean, this kid's the real deal. He's got everything that you need to get to the highest level of wrestling. And yeah, I don't think he's gonna stop regardless of any of this stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Wrestlers are pretty resilient. They kind of let this stuff go by them, but with a younger kid such as himself, I could really see how it could get into his mentality and kind of break him down his freshman year. But at the same token, it's like everything's new for him. He's back into school. He's actually going to school now. And, this is his first real, run at high school. And now he's got this hurdle to overcome. And, do you think he's going to come out strong from this, even stronger than he was? Just kind of give him a big, lack of a better term, fuck you?
Yeah, I think we're seeing it today. Today's the first day he's competed since this all went down, and he's always wrestled tough, but he almost has like wrestling with a chip on his shoulder.
Yep.
Cliche, but not the kids that he's wrestling today are
The best, but
high level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Here,
I think as much as he's gonna have like a chip and like a attitude about the whole situation. I mean, he's been wrestling in the national schedule for, I mean, how many years? 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So this is not like something that really is that big of an issue, I don't think, right? Every year, the state tournament, there's going to be 3-4 guys in the state of Illinois that are competition. And then, outside of that, everybody's, from all around the country. So
Yeah.
I think if anything, it's just being annoyed that people are restricting how much you wrestle, but he's going to wrestle 365 days a year anyway. So
Is he already getting looked at for D1 colleges?
Yeah, like legally, no.
Oh, yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
There's an
at
interest.
the end of the day,
There's an
I think-
interest.
yeah, I mean, colleges are constantly communicating to athletes, and then obviously whether it pans out or not
Mhm.
is based on their junior senior seasons, whether they're top 5 kids in the country. So I think every college coach sees the talent, and whether or not they pan out, then they'll get heavily recruited their junior senior year. So
So you, Dalton, aren't the high school wrestling coach. You're actually his, here in Iowa, we have wrestling clubs. So I would assume that you're his wrestling club coach, or you're the one that works with him primarily as his wrestling coach.
yeah, I would say I'm one of many people who have put their hands on Jimmy to help him get better, right? There's a lot of people in Jimmy's life that have, helped him, and he's not somebody who's afraid to go to many different places.
Mhm.
I think proximity wise, I have a close proximity to where he's been in the past. And obviously during COVID, it was one of those time periods where, I didn't have a place to go, and he didn't have a place to go. So we trained a lot over that period of time.
Yeah.
And then as far as school, I just got out of it. It's just, from the politics of the school or the organizational politics of parents and organizing all the dates and being gone till until 9:30 at night. I just wasn't having it. So I got out of the coaching traditionally. So yeah, I train with Jimmy a lot, but he's a guy that he's familiar with a lot of different people. And that's because, a lot of people like him and a lot of people like training with him. So
yeah. Some of the images that I saw online, doing some research on there, gotta be honest, Jim, he looks like a little Brock Lesnar.
Right. Yeah,
some of the haircut, you know what I mean? Like he was kneeling down in one of the pictures and he had that buzz cut with kind of the fade on it. And I looked at him and I thought, God, that kid looks like Brock Lesnar Jr.
Yeah. I mean, if he hits the weights good this off season and continues to grow, he's going to be a spitting image of what Brock looks like. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's going to be a little bit better of a wrestler, I think.
Yeah. So as far as your background, Dalton, I kind of, obviously did our research here as well. And it seems like you had a pretty successful collegiate career as well. And nationally. And tell us a little bit about that.
So one thing you mentioned that I runnered up, I didn't get second in the country. I All-American twice at Division III, but I wrestled for 3 years at the University of Illinois and then a year at University of Nebraska. And then after that, I spent a year coaching, and then I went back to a Division III school, got my degree, and All-American twice.
Nice,
so,
man. It sounds like a hell of a career. And I'm surprised my two guests or two podcast guys here didn't give me shit, because I'm from Western Iowa, and they think I grew up in Nebraska.
He's from Nebraska.
He's from Nebraska. Don't let him fool you.
So my hometown's about an hour from Omaha. So we're fairly close. We normally are, I guess you'd want to say, halfway between Des Moines and Omaha is my hometown. Podunk, Iowa, 600 people, nothing crazy. Never had a wrestling program until I graduated high school, and then they went to another school and was able to wrestle. And my nephew right now, he's a sophomore, and he's a pretty formidable kid, 6'2", wrestles at that 215 weight class here in Iowa. And he went last year. Actually, it was the year before. I think he ended up taking like 4th at state, as an 8th grader. And now my son is in wrestling. So my wife and I are getting into it a lot more. We've always been Iowa Hawkeye wrestling fans. Watching that, it's hard when that type of program is in your state to just not let it pass you by. It's fun to watch. It's exciting. I know Dave and Mike have been to some wrestling shows. One of our guys wasn't able to be here tonight, Kyle. He's got season tickets to the Hawkeyes, and it's an electric stadium when you get into Carver Hawkeye and watch those meets.
Yeah. Well, I figured, I was thinking about, I did a little research on your guys' podcast and stuff, and I was thinking, you guys are from Iowa. I figured out what could I, bring. So I got an Iowa story that I think you guys might like. I think it's funny for me, at least. When I was in a senior year in high school and I was getting recruited, I got recruited to all the Big Ten schools. But when I got recruited to Iowa, I got, went on a recruiting visit and everything. And it was awesome. It was, I was ready to sign on the dotted line right away. But ironically, on my second day of my visit, Coach Jim Zaleski got fired. So I'm sitting on my recruiting visit, and the coach gets fired, and I don't really know what I'm going to do after that.
Oh, that's a hard decision.
Yeah. It was an interesting weekend to say the least. But I was dead set on Iowa, I think, originally.
Yeah, it's a great program. It's a storied program.
One of the best in the country.
Yep.
Honestly, any of them at the Division I level, I think you can't really make a case that any of them aren't good, though.
Yeah, I mean, we just had Ferrari visit this week. He's kind of had a controversial past at OSU, and he's kind of taken a year off, gotten cleared, and he took a visit this week. And God, dude
is humongous.
He looks strong as ever. Like training for UFC, MMA. I mean, doing jiu-jitsu on the side. So I think he's going to come back, and hopefully we have a national champ in him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to Iowa.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know more about this. So right now you have a temporary restraining order. So if say that gets thrown out, does that means Jimmy can't wrestle? Correct.
Correct. That means he'd be ineligible, and Jordan would be. They'd both be ineligible again.
Gotcha.
Basically back to the start.
Is it for this year only, or is it for just any year? Because how would that work?
I don't really know yet. It's kind of a lawyer's game now.
Gotcha.
Originally reading, it was for all 4 years of his athletic career for high school.
Never been done before.
And
no one's ever been banned from competing for 4 years.
And this happened did it start in September, October upon enrollment, or was this something
When
that?
did this all start? Right in the beginning of early November. Right?
Okay, so right as practice started, season started.
Yep.
So was there like a whistleblower from another school, or I mean, how?
Oh yeah, there was the school that the 2 wrestling coaches at Marion Central now. They left school. They left a school called Richmond Burton in 2022.
I don't know.
So they've been at Marion for 2 years. Well, that head coach was going after these guys for leaving their school, or the new head coach, I should say, going after them for leaving the school. And then he was sending emails that were like getting back to everybody about, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to burn these guys and this and that. So
it's a witch hunt is basically what it is. And unfortunately, Jimmy's collateral damage.
So it's a little bit of saltiness taken too far.
I called the guy finally. I'm like, hey man, what you ended up doing was a kid got screwed over in this, and it's my kid. And he's like, well, that was never the goal. I was just going after the coaches. I said, well, who does that? Why? I mean, I don't understand this at all.
Especially at a high school level.
Yeah, right. Because the only one who suffers is the kid, and it's not his fault. He just wants to do his thing. Like high school is an awesome time, especially when you can go participate in those sports and stuff, especially something like wrestling, where you learn all that discipline and whatnot. So it's just punishing him, which isn't fair to him, I don't think.
And I guess I wouldn't be like, he handles it way better than I did. Right away, you pop a beer or whatever the saying is. Your kid, you're ready to, rape and pillage for him or whatever. That might be aggressive, but you're ready.
Well, I mean, you're a father. You want to protect your son. You want to do everything you can in your power to make him happy and make sure that he doesn't get attacked himself. I can only imagine.
So I'm originally from Illinois. I'm just from across the river from Bellevue here. And we did not have wrestling, but Stockton, Illinois did, and they were a pretty good wrestling school. But is over in Woodstock there? Is that a pretty high pretty good wrestling school?
Not that I know of, at least. It's a small, in Illinois, similar to, you guys have 4 divisions in Iowa, right? 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A.
Well,
4A
for the high school, it's just three classes: 1A, 2A, 3A.
Okay, same in Illinois.
Yep.
1A is a small one, 2A is the middle, I guess, and 3A is obviously a big one.
Yep.
The school they went to is a 1A school. It's not like a big wrestling school. It's just a school that he wanted to go to.
Yeah, because Woodstock's out by what, Hinckley?
Woodstock is, I don't even know what's near Woodstock. That's big.
It's like a very far suburb, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what is it? It's Harvard's over there.
Oh yeah.
In the middle of nowhere.
That's in the middle of nowhere, right. And Oregon, down in Oregon, I think is where you guys are from. They obviously don't have a wrestling program.
No, now that's the thing. We live in Oregon, but we're in the Byron School District.
Okay.
And that's typically a good thing if that's what you want to do. But I'm not a big man. I don't want to be like the public school hater, but kids did go to public school in Byron for a little while.
Right.
And they were doing, like, when they were little, they were coming home with the whole, men can have babies. And I'm like,
right.
You got a dog full of kennels. You got a kennel full of dogs. You show me a male dog that can have puppies.
Right. And at the end of the day, we see it in Iowa too. A lot of athletes are taken out of a private school versus a public school. I mean, it happens all the time. I'm not saying that that's why you put Jimmy in a private school, but definitely if he's that good of a wrestler, he will be more noticed.
Yeah, and that's where, this is the thing. He wanted to go there. My wife and I were both like, all right, we'll make it work, but the deal is straight A's and no bullshit. Straight A's, no bullshit.
Right. And is he a straight A student?
No, when he was homeschooled, he was like an animal. You know what I mean? It was like, oh God, he's going to go to school and fail because he almost has like a problem with authority. He probably gets from his mother.
Hopefully she's not listening, Jim.
No. But maybe she is.
But he's doing well now.
That's it. Straight A's are like, hey, we're going to put you in honors classes. We're going to do this. And he loves going to school.
Wow.
So he's buckled down and really taking this thing seriously. That's great.
big time.
Because he
And
wants to wrestle.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
you
that's
know,
good.
private school, so they're uniforms and this and that, and
Yeah.
that's the more structure you give him,
Yeah.
the better he is.
Yeah, and I could speak on this a little bit. Like, I also coached for a year at Montini Catholic, for a year, and just like, I mean, just in general, like the way in which you can keep kids accountable and like talk about, find their teachers, right? Like I was a public school teacher as well, or a coach at a public school. It's just hard to track down people. It's a bigger school, a lot of different people. Private school is just, you get to really manage, kids a lot easier, right? So
Create
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
relationship with
Oh, wow.
them. It's more one-on-one.
So
You're
I went to a private school, so I do understand what you guys are talking about, and especially like as a parent, I can imagine you'd want to have a say in where your child learns and what they learn specifically too. Like, so I went to a private school my whole career, I guess, and I do understand. Like you said, you get more of a access, I think, to the faculty. It's a lot easier. Smaller classes means more one-on-one time with the student. If any students are struggling, they can kind of see that and whatnot. So there is something to be said about doing that.
Well, Jim, what I will say is that if you want to move to Iowa, we have some pretty potential big Iowa high schools that are taken for wrestling.
I would the Bettendorf guys. We've already.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're animals. They always whooped our ass in any kind of sport.
Yeah. Anytime we've
And I
been to
know the mayor
tournaments.
of Bellevue, so
Oh,
Do you really?
Oh,
oh, yeah.
The new mayor or the old mayor?
The new mayor.
The new
Oh,
mayor.
okay.
Oh,
Oh, Reistroffer.
I think he's
Yeah,
standing right in front
I
of
work
me.
with him as well.
He's down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's funny.
So
That's
he's
awesome.
trying to get you to move to Bellevue, is what I'm hearing. Got it.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming on tonight, telling us a little bit more about the story and everything. We're going to obviously put it out on our social media, and obviously feel free to share. This live stream is live, but it's recorded as well, so it's going to go up on our YouTube channel. So I would love for you guys to share the story, get it out there. We'll blast it out as well. Get some more notoriety. I know, Jim, you had mentioned this has already hit some national news there in Chicagoland, ABC. We'll help you out, with our audience and what we can. I talked to our high school wrestling coach yesterday because my kid skipped out of wrestling yesterday.
He
on
hid in
winter
the
break.
bathroom.
He hid in the fucking bathroom. My wife dropped him off for wrestling practice at 3:00, and that little son of a bitch went and sat in the shitter on his phone for an hour because he was afraid that his coach was going to chew his ass because he asked him to cut from 150 to 144.
I'm betting he
and
deserved
he
it with
weighed
that.
148 that morning of practicing. He didn't want to go get his ass chewed.
I don't want to call him out, but I was down here working on the studio one day, and he would run for 5 minutes and then sit for 20
Oh
minutes.
God, it's discipline. It's horrible, horrible. So yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. Like I said, we'll share this. We'll get your guys' story out there. I know Gerald probably stepped in here, so he's going to talk a little bit about it after we get done here. But yeah, feel free to share everything that we've got out on social media. I put our link tonight for our live channel in some of the Facebook groups, for wrestling. I reached out to Flow Wrestling. We're not big enough to have Flow put us on their Facebook
Darn it.
page.
Not
but
yet.
if you guys have any connections and want to throw the live stream out there after it's uploaded, feel free to do so.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Yep, and we appreciate it. Dalton, Jim, thanks for coming on tonight. Obviously we understand some of the issues you guys had trying to get on here, with your matches lasting a little bit longer, but we do appreciate you coming on, and we appreciate everybody, tuning in and hearing your guys' story. And we wish you guys the best in the upcoming season, and Jimmy.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
All
right.
righty. Well, thanks for our special guest coming on this week. We're going to do how we always end it. We got about 7 minutes here. We want to end with story time, and this week's story time is going to be, I wrote it down here, your most messed up New Year's Eve story. Josh, go ahead and take it, because I know you said, I have one.
I have one. Dave had one too, but God, I kind of feel like mine is totally messed up. So I was a freshman in college, and I lived in Ankeny, Iowa, and there was a party up near Ames. One of the kids from my hometown had a house in the country in a town called Radcliffe, and it was about a 10-minute, 15-minute drive from Ames. And we went up there, partied our ass off, and I had just gotten a brand new car, maybe 6 months prior, and I decided to drive to Ames. And don't remember it. It was blacked out.
That sounds stupid.
It was, yeah. Safely made it. I guess the night was really good, and I passed out in the basement. I woke up the next day at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, went out and found the ass end of my car caved in, the front end of my car caved in.
So you didn't safely make it. You murdered some deer along the way. It sounds like.
Are you sure you're not wanted?
And no, just listen. It gets better. And the sides of my car were scratched to shit. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Who'd you piss off?
Well, nobody. Evidently, my friends that had trucks were actually trying to keep me on the road. And they were hitting me from behind and getting in front of me and basically pinching me in and guiding me to Ames. Never been there before in my life as a freshman.
Jesus.
Were you on 35?
I was on I-35. And these guys, well, I think there was old Highway 20 is what it was. Going to Ames from there. But yeah, that was the story that they told me is like, hey, you were all over the fucking road and we kept you on, we kept you alive, we kept you out of the ditch. And so that's where, you know,
none of them thought to stop you before you got in the fucking car.
I don't know. We all kind of just booked it at the same time. We all left. We're like, hey, we're going back to Dax's place.
Hey,
Let's
Josh
get
is trying
going.
to turn a bush on. What the fuck? Like maybe someone should take his keys.
I mean, those are good friends, though.
Oh, dude, it was great. It was great. You
They
know,
risked their vehicles
they
to
did.
save
Well,
you.
they all had brush guards on their truck, so it wasn't going to be one of those things. And, you know, shit. I think it was a Mercury Cougar XR7, so I was underneath their bumper anyway.
Had subwoofers in the back.
Oh,
he
dude,
was,
I was
pumping them tunes.
It was
Vanilla Ice, some Ice Ice Baby.
Cisco
the
was
thong
huge.
song.
On repeat. You
Dong,
would.
dong, dong, dong.
That's the only song everybody knows by him.
It's the only song he's ever got.
All right, I'm gonna let my story be it, and I'll let Dave go here.
Well, otherwise, I have one too. So
Okay.
you can go if it's fast.
I hate when they say that. No, mine
what
was
she said.
a New Year's Eve one where we drank Caribou Lou. And if you guys know anything about Caribou Lou, it's
151 rum.
Yeah,
Pineapple
150
juice in Malibu.
yeah, it's great. It's delicious. It creeps up in you. 2 drinks and you're already shit faced. But before the night was done, it was like 11 something. I remember looking at my clock. I had to go piss. I went and piss. Came back out, sat on the couch. And then like a minute later, I looked down and there's a wet spot on my pants. It's getting bigger and bigger. And I'm like, what in the fuck? And then at midnight, so we got all stood up and said Happy New Year. And I kind of just didn't want to see my piss pants that I peed my pants in. And just ended up driving home that night. That wasn't that smart, but
Where did he go?
I don't know. That's what it kind of threw me off. He just disappeared like he's behind
the
the fucking
sheet?
curtain. Yeah.
About ready to.
Don't pay attention to the
About ready to
guy.
cut a
behind-
hole in there?
Yeah, the glory hole thing. Thanks for ruining my story, dickhole. I mean,
Yeah, that was nice. Rude. Can someone hit the button, please? Yeah, when I got out of the Air Force, I moved to Platteville, Wisconsin from Hampton, Virginia, and I started hanging out with a lot of college kids while I was going to college.
no shit.
Right. Anyways, everybody goes home for college break, but a lot of the frats like to stay around. So I started hanging out with a lot of the AGR guys, which is the agriculture frat. And they had this brilliant idea of let's start drinking very early on New Year's Eve and continue drinking all night. Because in Wisconsin, a lot of the bars, especially in Platteville, stay open, and then they serve breakfast the next morning.
Oh, yum.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So we started drinking really early. This guy named, I couldn't even tell you his first name, we called him Bucket. Yeah.
That's what I just
Not
went
even
in.
kidding. Wish I was joking. But Bucket made some Texas mac and cheese. We were drinking all day, playing beer pong, all that shit. And we went down to the bars, got fucking sauced. And I blacked out. I texted someone. I ended up coming back to it in a different town in Fenimore, Wisconsin. So Platteville to Fenimore. I did not drive. I'm not that stupid.
Well, that's good.
Hung out there for a while. Did not have my original shirt on. Was wearing a different shirt. Ended up drinking some more. Blacked out again. Ended up back in Platteville. Don't know how that happened. And continued drinking. We drank for like literally 36 hours straight.
That's awesome.
That is
But it's
not. Yeah,
That's a
and
marathon.
That's a marathon. And then when I finally went to bed, I woke up the next day, and it literally took about 12 hours for the hangover to finally kick in,
Ooh.
which is the worst because when you're
Yeah,
awake and
a
you
delayed
hear and
hangover?
yeah, dude, when you're
Ooh.
awake and you feel that headache come on,
Oh man,
because like I woke up in the morning, I started eating biscuits and gravy and shit. It
that's why they
tasted
call it the
good.
hair of the dog.
And then later that night, I started trying to eat French fries and shit, and I was like, I can't do it. Can't do it. So
Wow.
I don't really celebrate New Year's Eve anymore after that because that was the end all be all.
No New Year's resolutions for you though.
No New Year's resolutions. No, I'm gonna lose a ton of weight.
Yeah, you look overweight already.
Yeah.
Fat ass.
God damn, what are you, 160?
Sorry, I don't have a low metabolism.
Say hello to the camera.
Hello,
Hello,
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Oh, fuck. All
And
right.
on that note, we are going to end this episode of the Mainstream Podcast. We appreciate you watching. Yeah, have a good New Year's.